Hello, my name is Andy Lewis, and I'm joined alongside by Ned Case here on the Bear Sports Network. We just saw an exhilarating women's game, and now we're getting ready for what should be an exciting men's game as well. Lenoir-Rhyne, just like the woman, Ned, they have great success here in Hickory. How do they continue that today?
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to be in your home gym, right? You get to kind of be in your own venue all day. You don't have to worry about being on a bus, having some bus legs. So this team's done really well. They feed off really good crowd environment, and you know, I mean, it's kind of like we talked about with the Catawba women. They're really good at home and pretty good on the road, but not as good. Sometimes that's just the way teams function.
Absolutely. Lenoir-Rhyne is in need of a win. They have 8 wins and 9 losses overall. Meanwhile, Catawba 13-4 this season. They lead the Piedmont Division with an 8-1 conference record. Let's take a look at our team comparisons today. Catawba with the better overall record, 5 games above Lenoir-Rhyne, and the offense for Catawba is red hot, 84.4 points per game. But the good news is that Lenoir-Rhyne has a great scoring defense. They lead the South Atlantic Conference with allowing 66.6 points per game. People have stayed after the women's basketball game. Great showing in the first game of our doubleheader, and the opening tip is won by Catawba, and we are live in Hickory, North Carolina.
A couple different guys in, Malik Lagania, Hamilton Campbell, and I think Damian Medwinter. So again, kind of getting into that bench, seeing if they can find a spark here in the early going.
Campbell fires it inside the Neesmith to try to go with the dunk, but he's stripped behind by a Catawba defender. Last touch by the Indians. So an inbound underneath the basket for Lenoir-Rhyne.
Yeah, nice look there by Ham, really getting that ball. He's a really good passer, does a nice job using his eyes to get guys open.
Campbell with possession right on the left cheek of the Big Bear at half court. He's looking to try to make a drive here. Campbell will take one in, has to throw that one up high, and nice use of the glass by the guard. And he gets to the fall, and the Bears have their biggest lead of the night by 4.
Yeah, Campbell would be a good one to get going. He started really well to start the year. I think teams started to get some film, figure out his game a little bit, so he's had to adjust to that. But that was a nice, decisive take.
In for Catawba.
Yeah, Epps just, really strong take there. Forced the defense to rotate over, which opened up the offensive rebound. Like you said, Epps, the sack player of the week last week. I think he averaged about 18 a game, so really strong, nice pass by Campbell.
Campbell not being too selfish with it. Hands it right on off to Neesmith, and he gets an easy 2 at the rim.
Yeah, and that's his game. He's a pass-first point guard, gets guys involved, had an 8 assist, no turnover game against Newberry, in I think November, early December. So, he really has that ability to be a passer. They're going to have to help here with the size mismatch.
Here's a squared up 3-pointer by Banks. It can't fire over to Jones. He'll left-hand dribble inside. He'll fire one up. That one's way off, and it's rebounded by the Bears in foul.
Yeah, nice help defense there by Nas Tyson. Kind of forced Jones off the shot that he wanted, and then Hamilton Campbell gets to the rim.
Campbell gets his second bucket of the night to fall. And the Bears now within 19.
Lenoir-Rhyne kind of expected and knew. I mean, Catawba likes to kind of make this a quote-unquote pickup game, right? They want to use their athletes, get in a lot of space, make sure it's an up-and-down game. And Campbell right there handling the pressure nicely.
The speedy guard gets a nice layup to go off the right hand. And he's been able to create that space and that separation from Catawba defenders to create easy looks at the glass.
Yeah, he's played pretty well. He hasn't scored the ball a lot recently in the last couple games, so good to see him creating a shot and finishing his opportunities.
Jones going to go up with it. Swatted away by Wilson. Gerard with it now. He's going to try to give it on back to Jones, but here come the Bears the other way. Euro step in, and that's a pretty finish. Tyson gets the nice free throw or layup to go down. The prettiest one of the night for the Bears.
Yeah, good patience, good body control there by Knotts. Good energy from the bench, right? I mean, this isn't a Bears team that believes this game is over. They believe they can get back in this thing. Little defense chant coming from the crowd.
Jones is pocked away from Campbell. 2-on-1. Campbell gives it over to Percy. File. He tries to go up, and he gets the layup to fall.
Nice, strong take there by Percy. Wasn't afraid of a little bit of contact.
And it's Hamilton Campbell that is called for the blocking foul right at half court. Everyone to the right of us, Ned, thought it was going to be a charge. And Coach Sullivan might have a case there. Campbell got to the spot around the same time as the offensive player did.
Yeah, it looked like legal guard in position, but, nothing called there. Again, they're not in the bonus yet, and Campbell kind of got his motion under control, just talking to the official, figuring out what the issue was, and you're Coach Sullivan, right? One stop. You're a stop and a bucket away from getting this thing to single digits all of a sudden. Bears got to just try to kind of push this thing up court, and Campbell does a nice job handling the pressure.
especially Catawba. 5 straight consecutive misses as Campbell will float one up, and he's had himself a second half as that one falls to the bottom of the net.
Yeah, Campbell's been good energy for this Bears team coming off the bench. He always plays with a lot of passion, and now he's starting to make some shots.
Campbell able to help things out for the Bears as he's going to try to drive that sideline. Now moving baseline, and straight away Tyson put the ball in the ground, dribbled, fired up 3, and that's in. That is the first made three-pointer of the half for Lenoir-Rhyne, and it's now a 10-point game. 3:30 remaining. A whistle is called, and we'll go into the under 4 media timeout. So, hey, credit to the Bears. They have not given up yet in this game. It's 64-54, though. Catawba with a 10-point lead. You're watching the Bears Sports Network, presented by NBA Roofing.
Yeah, uncharacteristic game out of L.J. McCoy. I mean, only one three-pointer for L.J. I don't think he's had many games with less than, 2 or 3.
Campbell in the drive as someone lost a shoe. It's Neesmith that loses a shoe.
And, I mean, that's the other thing they're going to go back and look at. They're going to see how many opportunities they had at the rim that didn't fall, and it'll frustrate them, but it'll be, an opportunity for them to continue to learn. That should probably be on Jones. I don't know how they're going to call that on Campbell. Campbell just ate an elbow to the face, and they're calling it on him.
Campbell and Jones exchanging some words here in these dying seconds of this contest. 74-60 over the Lenoir-Rhyne net. You talked about it a little bit as well. Just not a good night for the Bears, but Catawba looks like a serious threat here in the South Atlantic Conference, and they came into a pretty sold-out venue tonight, and they look pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, and like we said, they played their game all game long. You talked about 40 minutes of pressing. They played up and down. They continued to switch everything on the defensive end, which I think gave the Bears some trouble, not really being able to use that pick-and-roll game and not really being able to get mismatches inside with TJ. So, I mean, it's a very impressive athletic Catawba team. Epps was really impressive. Jones was really impressive. I don't think we really expected Chris Robinson to come in this game and shoot as well as he did. So, credit to Catawba. They played really well. They look like they're going to give Lincoln Memorial, a good run here. But, for the Bears, just continue to build, right? I mean, the top 4 on each side make it. And, they're going to be in a position kind of late in the year to steal a couple games and see if they can't be the 4th team out of our side of the conference.